why is it like a common popular belief that the older you get, the less likely you have a chance to be somebody or like accomplish something in your life? Like, especially when you're in your late teens to early 20s, it's like the perception of the time frame that you have to actually do something that's not a traditional life path is like, it's a very small window in most people's head. And it's almost like when people get close to approaching 30 or even like mid 20s, people look at you and consider you old or consider you outdated. But it's like the older you get, you start to realize actually not. Like, you really got more life experience, you got more perception and perspective of the world. Like, you know what you want for the most part, and if you made good decisions, you're probably in a better financial position, or at least have a better understanding of finances and how to manipulate situations in your favor to be able to get the outcome that you want. A lot of people don't be having success, you know what I'm saying, in their teens and their 20s. Like, we see these one-off examples. You see people that, you know what I'm saying, become famous rappers or famous actors and all this type of stuff, and it be a handful of people. It's a really small list when you look at it in the grand scheme of people on this earth. But bruh, you could have success at any point in your life. It's really not about the age. It's about when you decide to put in the effort and when you decide to commit to something and work towards it. Like, and I don't really favor the idea of somebody becoming old and outdated. I think somebody becoming old and outdated is actually when you decide to settle and stop learning and stop growing. But if you continuously working towards something, continuously developing your craft, continuously building up to this point of being a better version of you, like, why would you ever just fall off? Like, like, look at Kobe, look at all these people that, you know what I'm saying, like, they've been pushing the mark and been putting themselves in position, and over the years they just kept getting better and better and more refined. That's not, you know what I'm saying, that's not the exception. That's really the rule. Like, if you work, you're gonna get better. Yeah, it's certain things you could do within means with your body, but like, I'm just saying this all to say, like, it's up to you. Don't give up, and don't give somebody the power to put a limit on your life, your creativity, your lifespan, and your ability to produce in this lifetime. Do what you want to do, have fun, man. Like, you know, focus and get into it in a place where it makes sense for you, and let the results speak. Let your results speak for you. Don't hold yourself to some type of statistic or some type of, I don't know, like some type of expected stereotype or whatever it might be, however you want to consider it. But you get what I'm saying. It's like, make the own rules for your own life, because all of this is made up anyway, bro. Like, everything you know, everything you see is something that it came from, an idea that came from a person that's not no better than you. They just believed in themselves and they focused on the things that they saw and deemed important, not the things that people were saying. Because I'm pretty sure they had naysayers, or had people that was, you know, trying to question if they was gonna do certain things or not, or if they was too old and all these things. But in all actuality, it's like, if somebody was really happy and fulfilled in their life and serving their own purpose, you wouldn't have time to judge and tell somebody else that they're not, you know what I'm saying, they're not going to be able to do it because of an age or because of a place they come from, or all of these things that are completely irrelevant. You know, so I just think it's time for the ones that really care to tap in with yourself, find your purpose, find your reasons, find the reason why you're doing this in the first place, and fall back in love and just rediscover that passion, because that, from my experience, will override everything. And in all honesty, bro, it's like I didn't start doing anything for an outside reaction, a public perception, or to garner any type of attention. Like, for the most part, everything I take interest in or everything I start is because I genuinely loved it. Like, I genuinely find interest in it. I was inspired, and it became a passion of mine. Like, it's all for my own personal selfish reasons, and that's okay. It's like, in some instances, it is okay to be selfish. In some instances, you need to be selfish, because otherwise it's like you will find yourself in a place where you're being abused and your confidence is being diminished, and you're constantly looking outside of yourself for approval, for reactions, and all of these things that is not necessary fuel for you to keep going. It's not necessary fuel for you to actually have happiness and peace and fulfillment and accomplish things in your life. Like, you can do whatever you want to do, you know what I'm saying? It's just, are you gonna have the fire behind you to continue to do it and to continue to get better, and to not look at yourself as of where you at right now, but look at yourself as a whole and look at it as an experience, and know that the growth happens over time. You know, like, everybody is not gonna be somebody that it just clicks and you just a natural, or everything just comes to you free flowing. And granted, I can say I have been blessed with a lot of things where I'm very good initially starting out, but I still have to put in work. I still have to put in effort. I still have to continue to grow, to learn, to challenge myself, and to develop my skills, just like everybody else. So it's like, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. That's how we gonna get there. That's how we gonna stay there. And that's how we gonna find our own sense of purpose and fulfillment, and not, you know, be out doing things that don't necessarily serve us. But these just things that I've been learning. And a lot of times, like, you gotta spend the time with yourself. You gotta think and have the peace and the space to be able to be free and be still long enough to, I guess, ask yourself these questions and see if you're going in the right direction, to see if what you're doing is beneficial, or if you are still on track and going in the direction of your why. Like, is the things that you're doing, are they guiding you on a path of why you initially started? Or did you get somewhat sidetracked and brought into this whole world of, like, you're doing a thing that you started and you wanted to do, but you're doing it for completely different reasons. Like, you had all these things dumped on you by outside forces, outside people, outside energy that you took on, but you don't necessarily identify with. And that's why I think it's important, like, to have a long time and to reevaluate yourself, continue to reinvent yourself, continue to build yourself up, continue to stay grounded, write your stuff down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the stuff that you want to do, write it down and write why. So you can stay connected and you can remember, and you can make sure that you're in the best space at all times to be able to keep going forward confidently without any interruptions, without any second guessing, because that's the thing that's going to, I feel like, allow you to get the most success, get the most out of what you're doing in any way. Like, you don't even have to just look at it as success, but just be able to get the most out of what you're doing without letting the world, you know what I'm saying, get to you and crush you. Because let's be honest, like, it's not easy. It's not easy to do anything. It's a tough place. It's a tough world we live in. So if you look at it like that, it just kind of makes it all the more important why you do need something to have that bit of happiness and joy and fulfillment in. So y'all take that how y'all want it, man. Blue Angel. Stay up.